Hi YouTube. Hi friends in my camera. I am excited to get back into YouTube because I have been into TikTok now for like the past few years, and I feel like there's so much that could be said in longer form content, and that's what makes YouTube so fun. And yes, I've posted some short little mini vlogs in the past, but I'm really excited to dive into some longer form content, and I thought it would be fun today to just do like a get to know me stuff that you might not know if you follow my TikTok or if you're just new here in general. And then I also, on my Instagram story, I had you guys put in some questions that I will do like a little rapid fire answer at the end. And you guys asked some good ones. Lots of relationship questions, which I'm happy to always answer. So a little bit about me is I grew up in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, in a town called Newtown. My parents still live there to this day. And it's like a very quaint area of Pennsylvania. It's about an hour and 40 minutes outside of New York City, 45 minutes from Philadelphia. And that's great because I get to see my parents all the time. Growing up, I feel like people wouldn't know about me, but it would make sense. I was a theater kid through and through. My brother was really into theater growing up, and I just wanted to hang out with him all the time. So growing up, we did theater together. And I just thought it was so much fun. And I think doing acting as a child is one of the best things that you can do, because truly, if you can act in front of all these people as a little kid, it's a lot harder for you to experience embarrassment growing up. And I think that's probably what also developed my sense of humor. So I grew up doing theater, dance, singing, dancing, the whole 9 yards. A funny story was in 7th grade, or it was the 8th grade, I was in the middle school show. And it was a cabaret, and I was doing the song Anything Goes, and I was the lead. And I wrote down that I could tap dance, so I got listed to be the lead for this specific song. And when we started doing rehearsals, they realized how bad I was at tap. I literally probably only did it for like 3 years in elementary school. And they took the taps off the bottom of my shoes so you wouldn't hear how bad it was. And on opening night, they left the mic on attached to the previous act. And right when the lights came on, you heard the sound of a toilet flushing. That was the last show I was in, but not because of that. I just think like once I hit high school, I wanted to focus on sports, and I had played lacrosse my entire life. And I played lacrosse from 1st grade all the way up through senior year. And something I think is so weird is that you can play a sport for 12 years of your life, but then boom, all of a sudden it's your last game and it's done. Even though lacrosse was such a major impact on my life, I think sports taught me a lot of dedication to something, because even though I was pretty athletic growing up, I wasn't really good. I loved lacrosse, but I was good. I was okay at best. Like I was on varsity, but like I wasn't starting. After 12 years, you think I'd be half decent. And my dad was the coach from like 1st grade through high school until I finally got to high school. Then I had a different coach. She was awful. So those are my hobbies that have nothing to do with me now. I think something more important to talk about is the fact that I have 2 siblings. That would probably be more important than my hobbies. I have 2 siblings, my brother, older brother, 2 years older than me, and then I have a little sister. And my little sister is 6 grade years younger than me. So we have a pretty significant age difference, but now that she is 21 and I'm 26, I feel like we finally met at this age where we've become best friends. Growing up, like I would drag her out of my room. And then when she was a teenager and I was in my early 20s, she would drag me out of her room. But now, you know what, we've been hanging out in peace, and it's been wonderful. It's actually interesting because I feel like I'm like the middle ground between my 2 siblings. Like Mia and Pierce are obviously like get along great, but like I'm closer with Mia and I'm closer with Pierce than they are with each other. My parents, my mom is an artist and she taught us art growing up as well, all of us. My brother, he actually got into set design because of it. He's so talented. He's done a lot of paintings in our house, and my mom has painted a lot of things in our house. Behind me, I have little illustrations that she did for Sebastian's and my wedding invitation. I think the most fortunate thing for me about my life is that I just have such a good friendship with everybody in my family. And we're all so different from each other, but when I think about what the word balance means, I think about us. Which made me relieved, because when my family met Sebastian, the fact that he clicked so well and his entire family clicked so well with my family, that's how I knew that he was my person. High school was great. I was super involved in cross country, lacrosse. I also did art growing up, and it was really, really fun. But I always knew I wanted to go to FIT, and I didn't want to go to a traditional college. And I knew I wanted to move to New York as soon as possible, because any opportunity I had to go to New York, even if it was like just to go gallery hopping with my mom, I would get so excited, and I would spend so long picking out my outfit and making sure it was perfect to come to the city. And I thought that moving to the city, that would be my reality every day. In reality, like, this is what I'm wearing most of the time, but I definitely still love the hustle and bustle just as much, and I could see myself living here forever. And when I was in college, I met Sebastian, who is my now husband, and he completely changed my life in so many ways. And I feel like we connected because we both had the same sense of humor, and he was extremely adventurous and spontaneous, and I had never met somebody that was like that before, especially to that level. When I was in college, I would literally like stack my college classes to be just 3 days a week, because a lot of FIT classes were for 3 hours once a week instead of 3 times a week for 1 hour. So I would do like have crazy packed days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then by the time Friday rolled around, Friday to Monday, Sebastian and I would be off in another country every weekend. I should rewind and say that Sebastian is a pilot, so I've always been his domestic partner even before we were married, and that would put me on his flight benefits. And when we were young, we just took so much advantage of it. We were booking our Airbnbs like as we were getting on the airplane once we got our ticket. We would just list ourselves for whatever flight had the most open seats in first class. It was ridiculous. And I'm still waiting for a resurgence of that era. I don't want to become less spontaneous with age, and I fear that's what's happening. But Sebastian was my best friend. Is my best friend. I probably knew after like a year of dating that he was probably going to be the person I would end up marrying. People say, like, do you believe in love at first sight? I don't know if I believe in love at first sight. I'm gonna sneeze. I don't know if I believe in love at first sight, because I believe in infatuation at first sight and immediate intrigue and attraction, but I think love is something that you have to feel a deeper connection with over time for it to be real love. I guess it depends on how you see love. When Sebastian and I got engaged, it was like such an amazing time in both of our lives. This was post-COVID by a couple of years. It was 2023, and I finally felt like New York was becoming what it was, and we got engaged in Portugal, which is where his family's from and still lives. Like, we got married, actually there's this painting above my fireplace. That's where we got engaged. My mom painted that like 2 years before we even got engaged there. And after we got engaged, I started posting on TikTok about wedding planning, and I quickly became the girl that was obsessed with wedding planning, which honestly at the time, like, my brain was so in it, and it was so much fun. Like, growing up, I really thought I was going to be a wedding dress designer or a wedding planner when I was a kid. So when the time finally rolled around, I was stoked. I think in like 4th grade, my mom got me Vera Wang book-on weddings for my Christmas gift one year, one of my Christmas gifts. And then I even wrote my college essay on wanting to be a wedding dress designer and how that ties into marketing, because that was the major I ended up choosing, because a wedding dress is so symbolic of a person in the way that, like, marketing, you brand a company. A wedding dress is like your personal brand and a visual representation. So I was very passionate about it, and it performed really well on TikTok, and I was just loving the whole process of it, because I just was having so much fun being creative and expressing like different ideas I had for other brides. It wasn't even just about my wedding day anymore. I was just coming up with ideas for other people, and I loved it. And it's funny because the passion definitely trickled there, and I still love bridal now, and I can't wait till my friends get married and I can help them. But like, once I was married, I was like, almost like I was fulfilled by the situation of planning it, and I was like, never again. One wedding plan done, amazing, did it all out, and now I'm so set on being in the wedding industry situation. But I still do love bridal, and I love seeing all the new wedding dresses that come out year after year. So I got into TikTok with the bridal stuff, and then I just kind of pivoted online with other stuff going on in my life post-wedding. We were buying this apartment that we just moved into, and that was an exciting time in our lives last year. And then this past summer, right after my 26th birthday, I had this like urge where I wanted to like refocus more energy back on myself and just feel amazing 24/7. So I came up with this Sexier for Yourself series, which kind of like grew this whole thing, became into this whole thing, and it was a total blast. Like everybody online was resonating with it, and it just became so much fun to be involved with, and I truly believe in it, and now it's become like a core value. Like sexiness as a core value is crazy. That's diabolical, but the whole concept of it, and it's kind of like my motto right now, is take time for yourself, spend time making yourself feel good, and just show up for yourself, look pretty, get dressed for yourself, just for you. So that was like the very rushed version of my life. I'm sure I'm missing 1,001 things, and feel free to DM me or comment, and I will try my best to respond to everybody. And now I will actually answer some of your questions. There's a lot of questions about having kids, and of course I want to have kids. I can't wait to be a mom someday. I just feel like that time is going to be closer to when I'm 30 in like 3 years, and in my perfect world I would have a girl and a boy, but I don't care which would come first, and I don't care as long as they're healthy people. How to be chic. I feel like you do it so effortlessly in your life. I swear somebody wrote that. I'm not just saying that about myself. I honestly don't feel chic all the time, but you know, like I do little things that make me feel good. Like this is just like a cozy little jumper, and I feel like putting something on like with a pop of color. I love having a fresh lip on. Even if you're not wearing a lot of makeup, it can make your whole makeup vibe look more elevated. I try to always like style my hair and not just have it like slept on wet, just like a loose wave. Just little moments, taking time and to dress and style yourself in a way that makes you feel good will make you more chic. Also, 90% of my closet is neutrals, which makes it really easy to mix and match to come up with like monochromatic outfits. When in doubt, if you want to look chic, wear monochrome. How did you meet with your husband story? I met Sebastian at Catch Rooftop, and actually his friend came up and talked to me first, and then Sebastian ended up coming up and talking to me too. I can't even speak anymore. Sebastian's friend came up to talk to me, and I kind of forget this series of events because this is years and years and years ago. And Sebastian somehow ended up talking to me after his friend, and we just really hit it off. I don't even think I gave him my number the first night we met. I think I just gave him my Instagram. But we went on a few dates, and we kept it pretty casual. I had like just moved to New York, and I wasn't looking for anything serious. And nobody like ghosted each other. I guess was like a natural fizzle out. And then months and months later, it's almost the end of my freshman year, I run into him at this club called Up and Down, and I am now seeing this other guy pretty seriously at this point. And then I asked him, and he had a girlfriend at this point. And I was like, I'm so happy for you, blah, blah. We literally talked for like 2 minutes. Simple interaction. I never really expect to hear from him ever again after that. I was just happy to see him, and I kind of had this thought like, oh, like, he looked cute. Whatever. Like 3 weeks later, like now it's like the last week of school before I'm gonna go spend the summer at my parents' house, because this is right after my freshman year. He asked me out to dinner because he's like, hey, like I'm actually recently single now. Like, I don't know, like if you're still seeing that person, blah, blah. I had just broken up like 2 days prior, or not even broken up, because this guy wasn't even my serious boyfriend. I had ended a thing, and it just like the timing kind of worked. And then we dated casually for probably 6 months after that. And then that following November, we became boyfriend and girlfriend. And the rest is history. How do you feel confident when you're struggling with your skin? Okay, so skin is so tricky because I'm the same way. Like if I have a really bad pimple or I'm having a bad skin week, it makes me feel like I like look down from people. I just don't like the way my skin looks. If I have a pimple on my forehead, and I'm just going out during the day, I'll wear a hat so I don't have to put makeup on it, and I'll put like a pimple patch over it, and then I'll put a hat over it. Or if I'm going out at night, I just cover it with concealer and I hope for the best. And in reality, your skin, you're noticing it so much more than other people, so don't even stress it and don't make a thing of it. The worst thing you can do if you have a pimple is make other people aware of it. Do you know what I mean? Like if your friends are like, oh, like, does my skin look so bad? It's like, well, I wasn't even looking at your skin. I was looking at your gorgeous outfit and your stunning eye makeup look. But now that you mention it, now I see it. So if you have bad skin, don't bring it up to other people. People are not paying attention to it as much as you think they are. Did you ever have posture issues? Not posture issues, I guess, but scoliosis. And scoliosis physical therapy is actually very similar to Pilates. And so doing Pilates now like helps me keep my back like strong and balanced. My spine kind of balanced itself out with like it has like an S curve and it's pretty slight. I never had to wear like a brace or anything. My posture is pretty good. I guess it just didn't really affect it that much. Unless my posture is really bad and I just don't realize it. What do you think are staples you would need in a closet for day-to-day life? Everybody needs a go-to going out mini skirt, a mini black dress, tights, high-heeled boots, high-heeled pointed toe shoes, a great pair of jeans, fitted long sleeve, fitted short sleeve, a turtleneck, a great trench jacket, a warm jacket, a dress coat, a plain white baggy t-shirt, the perfect pair of jean shorts, sandals, trainers, running shoes. Is this boring? I feel like I'm just listing like all my favorite things. Great workout clothes. What biggest relationship challenge and how you work through them? I think that when I'm experiencing frustration in my everyday life, I will take it out on Sebastian. So he could do something like so minute that would bother me. Like, and I would have an overreaction because I'm actually frustrated with other stuff going on in my life, like something work related. And so what I've done to work on that is I take alone time. I will like make sure I'm setting time to do like Pilates and like a short meditation with my Pilates every single day, just to keep my mind calm, cool, and collected. And I never raise my voice, so even if I express frustration and I'm still overreacting, if you don't raise your voice, the argument isn't gonna be that bad. Did I have a bachelorette? Can you tell me about it? Trying to plan one. Sebastian and I did a joint bachelorette in Vegas and I can't recommend it enough. We had the best time. And if I was like drinking like that, like at the end of the day, I want to come home to him. It's the best. If you ever move out of New York, where would it be? Do you plan on leaving New York at any time? I really don't think I would move out of New York. I would love to have like a beach house someday and like spend time there if I felt claustrophobic in the city. But then again, I've never had kids in the city and I want kids someday. And I might feel differently about that if my kids, when I have kids in the city. How to maintain and have meaningful female friendships. You cannot force female friends. It has to happen naturally. You know when you're around somebody and you are addicted to the conversation that is like a forever friend. So first of all, like your conversation needs to be like positive. You need to leave the situation not feeling drained. And then both parties need to have like respect for each other's time, similar interests. Like if you both like going out to eat at the same places, if you both even like going out to eat, if you enjoy getting drinks together, going on walks, doing coffee, like find something you like doing with that person. And I think that makes a great friendship. I have friends that I see every week and they're some of my best friends. And then I have friends that I see once every 3 months and they're some of my best friends. Like every friendship has their own beat, so it's difficult to measure, but it's more about like the quality of the conversation. Like you can just feel it. I hope that made sense. Any recs for saving money while also traveling at our age? You do it so well. You can always negotiate. If you find great places on Airbnb, it's fun to travel with multiple people who can split an Airbnb because they'll be cheaper than getting a bunch of hotel rooms. And you can also negotiate and like offer different price points on Airbnb. and they're oftentimes at least willing to be a little bit flexible. Also, make sure you're traveling with credit card points, like use them towards flights. And Air France actually has like great, if you swap your points, if you use your points towards travel through the Air France website, it goes a lot further. We're going to a wedding next month in India, and we needed to have guaranteed seats, and we used credit card points to get there, and it's great. Outlook on what your life will look like in 5 years. I hope I'm still doing social media and enjoying it. And I also hope that I have at least one healthy kid by that point. And I'm just feeling really, really happy, and that everybody in my life is happy and healthy as well. There's like so many more questions. I feel like I need to make a whole nother video of just questions. I'm really excited to dive into YouTube more, and let me know what you want the next video to be. I'm excited to post a house tour, but I think I'm gonna do that in the spring because we're getting a bunch of built-ins and like our curtains aren't in yet, and I just want the whole place to be closer to being complete before I show it. But if you have any other video requests, let me know. I'm excited. Long form's fun. Okay, YouTube. Bye.